Alright, we're about to get into a game of AracKhan Wars. AracKhan? AracKhan? I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's AracKhan. And we're about to get cracking. We are playing with the, I think you have the Vesture deck, and I'm playing with the 6th Legion. I can't pronounce the name of this deck, but what we do is we each draw 7 cards, and we are playing a game against one another, with the goal being the player to have the most points on the center of this playing field at the end of 9 rounds of play. We're going to roll a random die. If it's odd, you're going first. And if it's even, I'm going first. Cool? You can speak. It is even. So I get to go first. We're on round 1. Alright. And the way the first round works is I must play 2 cards face down on 2 of the 4 X's in the center of the board, and they have to be adjacent to one another. After that, anybody can play upside down adjacent to any card on the board. So what am I going to start with? I have no idea what my opponent's up to. Let's start with this card here. We're going to put that there. And adjacent. So I can go, I have to be adjacent in one of these 3 to start off the game. And then it's kind of a free-for-all from there. So let us go with this card here. Your turn, sir. So now the opponent must play 2 cards face down, and then we'll reveal them simultaneously. While he's thinking about that, there are 2 other decks that come with this game. There is the red deck. I think it's called the Merkur, if I remember correctly. And then there's a blue deck. This one's more about flying and frost, but we're not playing with those this game. You have placed, so now we get to flip. All right. So I have flipped over a champion and a phalanx, and my opponent has flipped over a banshee, which has initiative, and a carnivorous plant, which gives his banshee some defense. Now, because I was the first person to go, I'm also the first person to act, unless my opponent has initiative. So you'll see from the banshee card, my opponent has a chance to use their initiative if they so desire. Would you like to use your initiative?
No.
No, he's chosen not to because he may not be able to defeat my creature. Is that why? Oh, yes.
Yeah, I have 2 attack, you have 1 defense there, and this gives another defense to it because it's 6th Legion.
That's right. And so now I can attack because this one has 1 attack normally. This one gives it an extra attack, which means this is 2 against your 1, but you have +1 defense, so your banshee also cannot be defeated. We're at an initial stalemate. Good way to start the game. So what that means is we go to the second round of play. Now, one thing we didn't do, and we'll do that now, is anything we put into play gets a token on it. We're using gems in this case, and whenever they're used to attack or anything, they would go upside down, which would be hard for you to see, but they reset at the end of every round anyway. Then we will change the round counter to 2. My opponent will go first, and we will both draw 2 cards simultaneously, but he'll be the first to play his 2 cards upside down. And he can put them anywhere adjacent to any one of these cards on the board here. They also have a special plane here. These blue cards represent the astral plane. And so you can put cards face down in here that have the astral symbol. They're a special magical card that can target either the entire battlefield or specific cards. So that's each deck only has 1 or 2 of those in them of these 23 card decks. Each of the cards in the deck have a value on the top right hand side, and that's the number of points they're going to be worth at the end of the game. And so it may be useful to have lower point cards in the early game, let them get defeated so you have more higher point cards at the end of the game, is one strategy you could think of. Although if you don't have enough force on the board, it could cause problems for the long game. Alright, so what am I going to do, seeing what you're up to? I think we're going to go with, oh, and you may or may not not have initiative. I think we're going to put this one here. And I will put this one here. And then we reveal. So I've placed a gray horseman that has movement 2 and another champion which will help bolster its adjacent 6th Legion. Now, this one here is a mighty 10 value card, the Wrath of the Forests. That is pretty big there. That is a 3/3. And he's also played a spell which is doesn't have a long-term effect but could help him win combat. So, what are you going to do now? I don't have anything with initiative, so you get to take first action.
So my Wrath of the Forest has 3 attack. The spell next to it puts it up to 5.
Yes.
And your champion here has 1/2 defense, 3 from there, and a 4th from there, so it is weak enough that I can kill it. So I'm going to attack it.
Now your character has an ability called Perforation, so what does that mean?
So since I killed that dude, anything that's in a line, I can, since there's something else behind it in the line, I can then also, as part of my attack that with 1 less attack. So my
This is brutal, by the way. This is the best way to use Perforation.
So my initial attack was 5, so now it's reduced to 4.
Which is enough to kill this guy. Because he only had a 1 defense now, so that guy's toast. And now he's down to a 3.
And there is another thing in line who has a defensive 2, which is weak enough for my 3 attack to kill.
So that Wrath of the Forest really did absolutely annihilate my row of soldiers.
And the Omni Strike did nothing since there were no adjacent enemies. And
so that was a one-time use spell at the end of the round that'll get discarded. And he still can attack with his Banshee if he wishes.
That can't do anything, so it can't move. And you have 2 defense. I have 2 attack, no attack bonuses, so I will do nothing else.
And so I just have a basic 2 attack, 2 defense against his 2 defense, so I cannot attack. And you can't move a creature once it's on the field unless it has the movement ability or you have a spell that lets you move it.
Or flight.
Or flight, yeah. So we're going to end the round. Flip your bead over. Get rid of the supernatural growth. I will cry like a little baby, losing half my army, or more than half my army in a single swipe. And then we'll proceed with the next round. So we'll go to round 3. We will each draw 2 cards. And we'll see if there's any way to redeem myself or take down that Wrath of the Forest. If I leave that on the field at the end of the game, that's worth 10 points to him, which is pretty intense. The other thing you might want to notice on this is there is a value underneath that 10, and so for some of the cards the 10 will be how much it's worth to assemble or construct a deck. You can have 115 points, I think it is, in a deck. That 18 is how many points worth of the deck it uses, so it's probably his most valuable card, and you've seen why. Alright, what am I going to do? I need to find a way to get past this. Enemy creatures can only attack the carnivorous plant with a group attack. So we could maybe attempt to take down this carnivorous plant. Maybe I will try something. Oh, that thing has initiative. Initiative, I say. Alright, we're going to try this plus this. I'll show you what I've played here.
Will you show me?
Yes, once you've played your cards. Ooh, into the astral. He's got a spell in mind, and that could affect anything on the field depending on what kind of spell you're playing. That puts me on edge. Alright, the cards have been laid. Let's see what was played. I have a siege tower which has a perforation. Oh, I misplayed.
Doesn't have ranged attack.
I did not realize it did not have ranged attack. That was a mistake on my part. Alright, so first off, if you have something with initiative, which you do, you can choose to use it.
So it has 2 attack, and your thing next to it has 3 defense, so no, I'm not using my initiative.
And I played down first, so I get to attack first. Now I made the mistake, I thought my siege tower had range, I was not paying attention. So that siege tower is going to sit there nice and pretty. And then my phalanx has just a simple 1 attack, but it does get +1 attack here. The problem being that it cannot attack this creature because this one can only be attacked by a group attack. But by playing this, I've increased this champion to a 3 attack. No, I have not. That one only gives defense. So basically I cannot do anything, so I'll pass the turn to you.
So that Carnivorous Plant has 1 attack, that has 2 defense, no thanks. My Wrath of the Forest isn't doing anything. Well, I could maybe move my...
What does that do?
Oh, that's right. Thank you. During your turn, replace the base characteristics of an allied creature on the battlefield with the base characteristics of another creature, allied or enemy on the battlefield. So let's see, what's the biggest around here? Wrath of the Forest and Siege Tower. So I can turn any of my creatures into 4/1 or a 3/3.
So this card is allowing him to change the statistics on their card. Not the abilities, but the statistics. So the attack and defense values of his card can change for this round only.
And sadly, it doesn't give it any other abilities of whatever it copies.
Thankfully, he cannot apply movement to his Wrath of the Forest. That would have been terrible.
So I will use this, choosing to make my Carnivorous Plant copy the base stats of my Wrath of the Forest, meaning it now has 3 attack and 3 defense. Spell gets discarded. And your phalanx has 1 defense, 2 defensive. Yes, I will use my Carnivorous Plant to kill it.
Dead phalanx.
And then I could move my Xenodon, but it only has 1 attack, which is not enough to kill anything else, so I am finished.
Alright. And so we go to round 4, which means Christopher will be going first. We will draw our 2 cards and proceed. Well, what am I going to do? He's got 4 cards on the field. Currently he has a point value of 10, 13, 19, 24 points to my 17 points. But my cards are not well protected, so that 17 points could disappear very fast. What are you going to do? You certainly have the advantage right now. Can I come back from this?
Wait, I go first this round?
You do. Tick-tock. I'm not certain what to do. I think maybe I'll try that. But you have to play your second card first. Well, that doesn't help. That does not help. Okay, let's try. Oh, you get to attack first, though.
Unless you have initiative.
Right. Let's put that there. And I will place... You're going to kill my siege tower, and there's nothing I can do about it.
I forget, does the rulebook require you to play 2 cards, or are you allowed to play 1 or neither?
You are required to play 2 cards every turn. The game must go on. Or some such thing. That doesn't help. Could do that. Sure. I'll play an astral spell. So we will reveal. My astral spell has a immediate and effect throughout the entire round. So all of my 6th Legion cards are +2 defense, but they are deactivated. So that guy has a 4 defense, but is deactivated. This card is an action card that can't be attacked, and on my turn, I can replace it with any card from my hand. The Trojan horse may be very familiar if you know what the Trojan horse is. Alright, go ahead. You have a creature with initiative, but it doesn't matter because you get to go first anyway, and I have nothing with initiative.
So your champion now has 4 defense?
My champion has 4 defense this turn and cannot attack.
That is big.
Indeed.
I don't think
He will survive the venomous death bug combined with the banshee.
Unless I use my mounted banshee as well.
But you cannot get adjacent to it, and it does not have range.
All of these are currently adjacent to it.
Oh, I see. 3-on-1 attack. That is true.
But I'd rather go with what I was originally planning. Use my mounted banshee with the power of 2 to destroy your siege tower with a defense of
Banshee
1.
careens in and takes down the tower. Good move.
And it has flight, but you can only use flight if you move it before.
Yes.
So, well, I could have moved it there before attacking, but I think it's okay there. And then, Trojan horse, I can't do anything against. Your champion is now too big.
I think it's my turn.
I could move my Xenodon, but...
That's true, you could.
I think it's okay where it is.
Alright, so my turn then. I will activate my Trojan horse. The new card, so this replaces with a card from my hand. The card can be activated. So the Seneschal is a 4/2 with Omni Strike.
This sucks.
And I will strike out against the Wrath of the Forest. So I took down his most powerful card, but my Seneschal is now open for the taking in a future turn. The turn ends, we flip over our tokens, go to the 5th round, my shield wall goes away, and we draw 2 cards. Which means I'll be playing first, and I just have to watch out for his initiative, but otherwise I might have a chance to do some more damage here. Now the Seneschal unfortunately can't do much else because I don't think he's going to play into that. So what can we do? Well, that venomous death bug has no defense, so that is useful. So we're going to play the ballista. No, I shouldn't announce what my card is, but I am going to play that card here anyway. And what else do we want to do? Oh, I see. I could do that. Or I could do that. That's for adjacent. The 6th Legion loves their adjacencies. I think... Well, maybe I don't want that there. Well, yeah, so that'll go there, and this will... Yeah, that doesn't work so well. Yeah, we'll play this one over yonder. Okay, proceed.
I have a rules question.
Yes.
With ranged attack, can it go over empty spaces on the board, or can it only go through a creature?
So a range of 2, you could you can cross empty spaces. There doesn't have to be cards there. And it can turn corners too. But diagonal does not count as a space, it counts as 2 spaces. A lot of activity happening in this corner of the board. We have not expanded any further. I do really like the card backs to this game, by the way. I'll show you a couple close up here. The red and blue decks, they feel almost 3D even though they're not. So very well done job by the creators. You placed, so we shall flip.
Actually, oh.
Change your mind before we flip.
Final answer.
All right, let's go. I decided to play a Drunken Knight and a Ballista. And you have played another Xenodon and a Vestir Archer. And you have initiative if you wish to use it.
It has 2 attack. The only thing next to it is that champion with 2 defense, so no thank you.
No thank you. All right, then I shall use my Ballista with a ranged attack of 1, 2, 3. Attacks for 1, and my champion attacks for 2, for a total of 3 against your defense of 2. So that will destroy the Banshee that's been annoying me since the beginning of the game. And that uses these 2. My Drunk Knight is a 1/1, so it's not strong enough to defeat the Xenodon. So I will pass the turn to you. So thankfully I've disturbed his plan. He was planning to use his Archer with his, what was that, a Banshee of some sort? So we defeated that plan anyway.
I shall use the movement on my Xenodon to put it here, as well as the flight on my mounted Banshee to put it here.
Well played.
And
to take down my mighty Seneschal.
And the 2 of them shall take down the Seneschal. 1, 2, 3.
And it's not 6 Legion, so it does not get any bonus defense. So it has been defeated, and that was a 10 value card. That's quite painful for me.
And then, so your champion has a defense of 2. My Venomous Death Bug can attack it for 2, as well as my, what does that say? I can't read up.
The Vestir Archer has a 1 attack, but a range of 2, so it is allowed to strike in tandem with the bug.
They are both attacking. Attack of 3 takes down your defense of 2.
All my champions are dissipating quickly. I'm left with the Drunken Knight and the Ballista, which probably don't go well together.
And my Carnivorous Knight can do nothing, but I can move my other Xenodon if I want.
Yes. The game is certainly veering towards the Vestir.
I'll put it here.
Now, one thing to note is when he does move, it must be adjacent to other cards, so he can't just go to the corner of the playing field. Alright. Turn is over. We'll flip all these. Progress to round 6, which means Vestir gets to go first. So I'm at even more of a disadvantage. And draw our 2 cards. And you get to play your 2 cards first. And I have a particularly hard time dealing with him now because 2 of his creatures have movement and another of his creatures has flight. So I'm kind of in a predicament. No matter where I play my cards, he may be able to play around them. My turn to play. Alright. This guy might survive if I put him over here, because you can't possibly do enough damage. So that might be a possibility. But otherwise, I'm in some deep trouble. Because that can move, so I can't really play around that. And those can move, so it's hard to play around those. But let's try that there. And then that there. Alright, we reveal. So I've decided to play the hero of the Battle of Nurs. 10-point card. It's got a 3 defense, kind of tucked in the corner there. He's played a Tree of Life, which is worth 10 points. Now that's the first location card of the game. Locations can never move. They have 4 defense, and if they are defeated, then you can actually claim them and get the points for yourself.
Instead of it going away, then you put one of your markers on it and it belongs to you.
Right. And an Earthquake, this is just a spell. It doesn't require any action.
No, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, it does, yes. So just a temporary spell. So you put an action token on it, and then it would be destroyed when you use it.
So
and you get to go first.
I will activate my Earthquake. It has Omni Strike, so it does an attack of 2 in each direction.
Which is destroying everything. The Drunken Knights and the Ballista have no way to defend against it.
Doesn't hit my Xenodon, but your Knights and Ballista all have 1 defense, which is small enough to die. And I activate this, and now it's discarded.
There you can go. 2 Omni Strike, taking down a 1, a 1, and a 1 in all directions. Another well-played card by the Vestur. The Earthquake decimating my forces, leaving me only with the hero of the Battle of Nurs. Is this the Battle of Nurs? I don't think so.
Wait, I can't read what upside down. What does it
It
say?
gives +1 defense to adjacent allied creatures, so basically it does absolutely nothing right now. But it does have 3 defense, so it will survive.
Yeah, because I have 1 attack there, 2 attack there, but it's in the corner, so my movement stuff, so my movers and flyers can't get in there. That sucks.
And the only thing it can attack is your archer, because this one needs a group attack to be destroyed.
I'm going to fly my Banshee over here next to the Tree of Life to help keep it safe.
Smart. Protect that tree, and the tree protects you.
And then I'm happy where that Xenodon is, but for that Xenodon...
So even if I were to kill your archer would survive because of the Tree of Life. Ouch. Are you good?
Yeah, that Xenodon's fine where it is.
So
Wait,
technically I would
there.
attack, but because of the Tree of Life, anything adjacent to the Tree of Life, so these 4 creatures, when they're killed, they only become deactivated, and at the end of the round it reactivates. So I actually have to kill it twice in order to kill it, or somehow take down the tree.
Or if I deactivate it on my when I go...
Yeah, if you were to attack, you were to go first, you could deactivate, and then it would make it weak. But I don't foresee you doing that. We're on to round 7, which means there's round 7, 8, and 9 left. The game is coming close to an end, and I don't know what to do to you, especially with the Tree of Life surrounded by a lot of points. But I do get first attack this time. But no way I can possibly take down the tree. So I think I'm going to have to go for some easy pickings and try to take down a Xenodon maybe. What else could I do? So we are going to go with that and that. Go. Wow, that's quite a collection of green cards you have here.
It appears my venomous death bug is surrounded. That's sad.
So sad. I'll show you what's my hand. There's not a lot left to choose from as the deck dwindles down.
I shall put that there.
So we will reveal. I have a infantryman and an infantryman. Meanwhile, he's played some natural camouflage. All adjacent allied creatures and lands can't be attacked this turn by enemy
Which
creatures.
includes both of my Xenodons.
Yes, and then down here you have yet another plant. So I can attack. This has a 2 attack against a 0, so I can destroy the venomous death bug. But my other infantryman cannot attack because this is not allowed to be attacked this turn. So that is, and then this is allowed to attack. I can attack this to deactivate it, and that is all I can do. Your turn.
So
You played that, so I can't possibly kill your plant. Well done. This is probably safe to get rid of because you're not. I'm not
That's my
attacking.
draw deck.
Oh,
This
yes,
is
let's
my
not draw
discard
that
deck.
again.
So I can't kill your hero because I can't fly or move in there, which is sad, and it's big. Let's see your infantrymen.
You could take that out. They only have 1 defense. You could fly or move your Xenodon. The only place you couldn't move is here because the spell technically is there.
I shall move this Xenodon. Wait, okay, so they each just give each other an attack, so they each have 1 defense.
Yeah.
So I'll move this Xenodon here,
Movement of 2, yep, that is.
and then move this one 1, 2 to be where the other one used to be.
Tag teaming my infantrymen, so 2 against 1 defense.
Correct.
I am defeated.
And then my Banshee shall fly over here.
And attack this.
Yes, to
Wow.
attack against 1 defense.
I'm really suffering here. This green army is mighty strong.
And then I can't attack your hero. My carnivorous plant and tree can't do anything, so I'm finished.
Alright, and you're going to get to go first this round. We're on round 8, so there's only 1 round left after this. Draw 2 cards, and you play first. I did not play well enough into my 6th Legion abilities, and it's now very painful to work around this green army.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, that is a 10-point creature. It doesn't have initiative, so I should at least try to take that out. I would need to tag team it to do so. So maybe we will try that. We will let you play around with your... Oh, but then you have a tree of life over there. Oh, you get first attack though, don't you?
Unless you have initiative.
That's right. Which means even if I place something over there, I'm in trouble. Sad. Alright. Not a lot I can do this turn then. I'm in a position of weakness. Utter weakness. Alright, we will place this here. And this here. Alright, reveal. I have a drunk knight in the corner and a ballista. You've played another archer. And another archer. Wow. Archers are come out to play. I'm going to get sniped all over the place. You get first attack.
So first I shall attack your hero. It has 3 defense, so I need 4 attack.
1, 2, 3, 4. All archers combining their attack together.
Yep, and each archer is within 2 of it, so they can all attack.
That is exactly how you kill it, yep.
And then let's see, so this ballista and this drunken knight, I can't get my Xenodons over there, and that carnivorous plant on its own isn't enough to kill anything, but I could fly over there and kill something.
You sure could.
My Banshee, wait, do I want to move some Xenodons first? I shall move this Xenodon 2 to put it next to the Tree of Life so that it's safer, and next to that carnivorous plant so it's safer. The Xenodon. I shall move it 2 here so that it can also hopefully get next to the Tree of Life. And then I shall make my mounted Banshee fly next to your ballista and attack. It's 2 attack against your 1 defense, kills your ballista. And I don't mind it being near your drunk knight because your drunk knight cannot attack even valued cards.
Yes, I'm down to a single drunk knight onto the last round of the game.
And I am finished.
So that is, this is how I lose by a landslide, by not thinking out turns. Well done. Draw 2 cards. I am the first to play. I drew my fortress as my very last card, but it is not going to be enough to give me enough points to have any chance of victory. I do get the opportunity to attack first. but that won't be very helpful. But I could try that and this. So I'll at least attempt to get a couple of points before the game comes to an end. Maybe, depending on what my opponent is up to. Final cards, reveal. We have another Banshee with initiative, another my Avalon Fortress, Mercenary. So you can attack if you wish with your one card with initiative.
So your Mercenary 2/3 cannot join group attacks. +1 attack and all defense to all adjacent allied creatures.
Are you killing the Drunk Knight?
Yes, my Banshee's 2 attack shall take out your Drunk Knight's 1 defense, which thankfully is not next to your fortress.
So then I get the opportunity to attack. My White Plains Mercenary is a 2 attack, +1 is 3. It can take down this evil Banshee before I lose the game.
Aww.
At least I killed both your Banshees.
And it's not next to the Tree of Life or a Carnivorous Plant, so it has no bonuses.
That is the end of my turn, so you may...
Archers are too far away to hit anything. Carnivorous Plants can't do anything. You killed my flyer, so I just have 3 Xenodons, but even them is not enough because both of those have 4 defense, so they can't do anything. So I guess that's the end. No point in moving them.
So that will be the end. I have 14 points in total, and I'll just quickly remind you of how those points are added up. On the top right of the card are the point values. So 14 points is my total end score. There's no other bonuses. And his score is 10, 20, 23, 29, plus 6 is 35, 38, plus 6 is 44. 44 against my 14, that is quite the victory. You saw many of his strategic attacks, that was well played. The combination of archers, banshees, flying, movement, and the sudden growth that you had, plus that earthquake was really devastating. So, well played. Thanks for watching.